अनारी निर्गुणी प्रगटली भवानी प्रगटली भवानी मोह महिषासुर मर्दाना दातूनी मोह महिषासुर मर्दाना दातूनी विविध बाबाची करावया धाडानी विविध बाबाची करावया धाडानी भक्ताला गुढी पावसी निर्वाणी भक्ताला गुढी पावसी निर्वाणी भक्ताला गुढी जोगवा मागे गायचा जोगवा मागे गायचा जोगवा मागे गायचा जोगवा मागे गायचा जोगवा आई उले गांगे उले आई उले गांगे उले आई उले गांगे उले आई उले गांगे उले 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 हो सारुणी सारुणी मालवी भानीरा सारुणी मालवी भानीरा हाती बोधाचा सेनानी घेईरा हाती बोधाचा सेनानी घेईरा
that merit is recognized. And I at least certainly, as one who had a little bit to do with shipping, was delighted when I heard that His Majesty's government, member of our Commonwealth, had honored and recognized me. I therefore welcome him very much, as I have been directed to, but with pleasure myself. We are waiting to hear what Mataji has said, but I can only tell you one thing, that whatever the Srivastava family, I mean I am only talking of these two whom I know, say or do from their hearts. And I wish that they continue to do so and help all of us in all respects that it is possible to help anybody. Thank you very much.
I will now request Sir C.P. Srivastava, because we at least identify that he has gone through the same mill through which we are going. Of course, times have changed tremendously, and his words of wisdom would also help us. I'll request him to come here and kindly address us. Sir.
Sri Ranadev ji, Sri Govind Swarup ji, distinguished members of the Indian Administrative Service, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's That's always a problem with me. It's a great honor for me to be allowed this opportunity to say a few words to you about my own experience of Sahaj Yoga. And perhaps what I went through may be of some interest to the other members of the Indian Administrative Service in particular. I recall that very early in the 1970s, she began her spiritual movement, and she told me one day that by raising the Kundalini of individuals, people could be transformed. And you know, being a bureaucrat, I took it with 2 pinches of salt. I said, how on earth can anyone transform human beings? Because I had no idea what Kundalini was. But she told me this is the inherent power in every individual which can be raised. And if it can be raised, then people get transformed. Now imagine me in a dilemma. I said, I don't know. I have never seen anyone transformed. I have worked very hard. I have been a good model, but I have not succeeded in transforming anybody. So honestly, I tell you, I didn't quite believe it in the beginning. Then she persisted. She went along by herself. I gave no support to her at that stage. Then I got transferred to London. I got elected to a job there in UN as Secretary General of the Maritime Organization. And there something happened. I had taken up residence in Surrey, little outside London. I used to commute. And we were together there, my wife and I. And one day, when I returned home at about 8:30 p.m., I went in and went to drawing room where usually she would wait for me. And there I saw a young man in his late 20s sitting on a sofa. He was a white-skinned person reading a newspaper. And I was a little amazed. I said, who is he? Why is he here anyway? But what bewildered me was the fact that he was wearing my clothes. So I said, there's something wrong with me. I'm seeing an apparition. But anyway, I retraced my steps, came back to her. She was in the kitchen. And I said, now, do I see really what I see? And she explained to me. Then she explained to me, she said she had gone to Piccadilly Circus. There she saw a young man lying more or less by the roadside, uncared for, apparently very sick. And so she said she went up to him and asked what the matter was. The young man said he was, there was no one to look after him. He was very sick, probably suffering from jaundice and a few other things, obviously under the influence of drug. But she felt somehow some compassion and said, okay, would you like to come with me? I can take care of you. And she asked him to hop into the car, which he did. And that's how he was brought to our house. Now, when he came home, he didn't have any change. What could she do except to say, okay, go and have a bath. She gave him my kurta and pajama and said, now you change over. And that is how he was sitting in the drawing room wearing my clothes. So I felt reassured that nothing was wrong with me, that I felt reassured that nothing had really gone wrong with me, that what I was seeing was true. But I tell you, I was very happy. I said, well, here's a person full of compassion. She is wanting to help a young man, and why not? It was at that point, at that stage. Then I began to see the miracle happening. She treated that young man with a great deal of care and affection and love and Sahaj Yoga. And the boy began to get transformed. He was addicted to drugs, but he didn't want any drugs. His color changed. In about 3-4 weeks' time, he looked like a fine young man. And eventually we came to know that he was an educated person, an Australian, who was an engineer, who had run away from his house and country, taken to drugs in London, and was in a very bad way at that time. Now he stayed with us for about 2-3 months, but he became like a beautiful flower. And he was very anxious to get back to his parents in Australia. And we were very happy that this happened. And then I saw what Sahaj Yoga and what she had done to a young boy. After that, my bureaucratic questioning mind ceased to function in that way. I began to accept there's far more to it in the world than mere administrative capability. There's something more, something higher, something spiritual. The boy went back. Can you imagine the delight of the parents who got back their lost son? Now that was the first instance. And then I said, no, I have been wrong. I should have known better. But you know how it is. I mean, some of you who are member service would know we never accept anything unless it is proved 3 times over. Well, then it began to unfold itself. I saw someone coming along, coming to her for vibrations and for transformation, and sitting opposite. And people who were addicted to drugs till yesterday found that they did not have the urge to ask for drugs. People who were alcoholics, she never asked anyone to give up anything. She says, it's your life, but you don't give up drugs. Drugs get away from you. You don't give up alcohol. Alcohol goes away from you. You become a different person. Now, to some of the audience, I might perhaps refer to what I always do when I speak, the case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know that Mr. Hyde seems to disappear from you and you become a total Dr. Jekyll. So I've seen many of that kind, a few in the beginning, and later on quite a number, and now of course there are thousands and thousands and thousands all over the world, in 80 countries. I have traveled with her to, not all of them, but some of them, and it's amazing to see how they are becoming a sort of a new class of human beings, motivated by nothing except what is ethical, what is right. They don't bother about themselves, they bother about others. All the time wanting to do something good, something right. And I must say, she never, I mentioned to her, she never says, give up this thing. She says, on the contrary, educate yourself, take a job, but do the job well. And wherever they are, they make a difference. So that is what Sahaj Yoga is doing. Now, how has it affected me? In the beginning, I was a very anxious person. Always wanting to be 5 minutes ahead of time or on time. If I'm slightly delayed, I'm a little jittery. You know how official life is. A lot of tensions. If you're in the United Nations, I'm dealing with 150 governments. And if you have to deal with the United States of America and Russia and China and what have you, it does mean a lot of strain and stress. But I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, after this experience of mine, I became a different person. And mind you, it was not as if I became careless, not at all. I was always punctual to the minute, but not with strain, not with stress. I did not feel as if I was under any great tension anywhere. You do your job and do your job as best as you can. And things turned out extremely well. So this is the message that I wanted to give my friends and colleagues. It is a matter of your wanting to achieve that much of transformation. If you are earnest about it, if you are sincere about it, as I was, I think it's possible to achieve that transformation, and nothing helps in fighting tension better than being transformed in this fashion. I have told you she doesn't want anyone to give up anything, but I want to do something more. She herself doesn't give up anything. She is a great spiritual leader, but she is also a very great wife, and a very great mother, and a very great grandmother, and now a very great great-grandmother. We're 4 generations now. I'll tell you, I won't take too much of your time. I get carried away sometimes, but once she was in Australia, I was in London, and she rang up our cook from there saying, I hope you are preparing this vegetable for him and that vegetable for him. Now, she is a wife wherever she is, and she is a mother wherever she is. The lesson is, lead your life normally, but lead in a different way. When you get concerned about the world, a lot of compassion, concerned about your country, not only just your country, concerned about the world. She is building up a new human society. And I'm praising her. I'm not embarrassed. It doesn't matter, she's my wife. But I'm not praising her for nothing. I'm telling you what I've seen. And that is my experience. I hope you will have the same experience. Thank you very much. Before I sit down, I do want to refer to Mr. Ranade. It was wonderful seeing him after many, many years. He has been a wonderful friend, a great colleague, and seeing him, I go back to 20 years, 30 years. Thank you, my friend, for your kind words. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir CP just told us about the story of the young man. I would only like to add that all of us have been those young men in many ways, and all of us have experienced her great care and compassion with which she has given us a new life. And now may I request Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi to give her talk.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. That's a very interesting subject that has been given to me to talk to you people. Because I've been always worried about the IAS, IPS, and other government servants. Very much worried. Because I have known the kind of life my husband was leading, and I used to think if these new people who have come to these services, to the government service, we have to tell them the dangers that are ahead of them. Because we don't know what is the subtle system within us which works. And in this subtle system, when we lead this kind of a very speedy, intensive life, it has a defect. It has a defect. You can see in the chart, they have shown the subtle system, which works it out. So we have a center here on the crossing of the optic nerve. This center is very important because we react with this. We react to everything. By this reaction, we create a problem within ourselves. And this reaction comes to us because we do not know how to go beyond the mind. Every time we are looking at something, we react. We look at someone, we react. But we cannot just watch. We cannot be just the witness. If we could be the witness, it will not have any effect on us. But we cannot be. That's the trouble when this center is very active. We call it as Agya Chakra. Where the two optic nerves meet. At the crossing point, this center is placed. Even Jung has said that you have to go beyond your thoughts, and that you have to become thoughtlessly aware. Even in our Shastras is written that you have to have Nirvichar Samadhi, means without thought, and the another is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now even Einstein has said that you have to go beyond the mind to reach the torsion area, he calls. When he was searching for his theory of relativity, he found it was difficult. He couldn't find it. He got very tired. He went into his garden and was playing with soap bubbles like a child. Then he says, suddenly from somewhere else, it dawned upon me this theory of relativity. He calls it openly as a torsion area. And this torsion area we have to touch instead of ourselves thinking all the time and react. Because as a result of that, what happens, we should say? What happens is that our movement on the autonomous nervous system goes to the right side. The right side is very good, otherwise a person looks very impressive, he can oppress other, he can be aggressive, he can be very systematic, all these things can be there. But it has a reaction. The reaction is horrible because this right side affects our liver to begin with. Now the liver is called liver because we live because of liver only. That's why it's called liver. This liver gets affected and there is no actually treatment, we should say, in the medical science for liver. They can replace it with a pig's liver or some liver like that. But otherwise, there is no way out. But we are the ones, we are spoiling this liver ourselves by creating tremendous heat in the liver. This special liver has got a capacity to absorb heat and release it into the bloodstream. And then, you see, it gets relieved of it. But when it is too much, when the liver is too much full of heat, then it cannot give up that heat. Then this heat start traveling upward. It can go to the right lung. It can go to the heart. Now imagine right lung means asthma. Simple thing is asthma. Then it goes to the heart. When there's a young boy, say of 21 years or so, up to that age, he starts playing cricket, tennis, and drinks a lot. Then he gets a massive heart attack. It's fatal, he cannot live. Then it affects, as I told you, other organs also. This heat goes to the pancreas, causing diabetes of a very serious nature, not of a mild nature, but a very serious nature. Then this heat passes down to the spleen. In the spleen, it gives you blood cancer. This is all possible for all right-sided people, I'm telling you. That's why I was worried that people who are, according to me, are the spine of our country. They are the spine of our country. They should not get out of life because of too much of strain and stress on their mind. Now then it goes to the kidneys. It coagulates the kidneys and you get kidney trouble, or you cannot pass urine and you have all the troubles there. Apart from that, it goes to the lower intestines and you get terrible constipations and all the problems of the constipation. Then also to the heart. At a later age, it comes. It goes on affecting, ultimately, your heart fails. Very early in age, I know of recently 2 people died of heart trouble who were at a very good position. This is very much worrying me, that how to bring them to close to themselves, to know themselves what the problem is and how to solve that problem. With this we understand that we react, by reaction we create such a heat within us. Apart from this, the other psychosomatic diseases, this is the, I'm telling about somatic, but the psycho disease which comes from your psychological problems come from the left side. Of course, I'll not deal with that now. But somehow, if you can move from right to the left, you are sure to get some psychosomatic trouble which cannot be cured by medical science, like cancer, AIDS, all kinds of these. So you are just preparing your body for that. In these modern times, the life is so full of struggle, speed. Now we were coming and there was a jam. Now you can't help it. I was very silently watching, now this is the jam. I have to reach late, doesn't matter. My husband normally would have been really in great trouble. He would have looked at the watch all the time, would have been, wow, where are we, what are we doing, this and that. But he was so silently watching the whole thing, I was amazed. Because normally he would be jittery that we are getting so late for a function like. Now, you see, once you get rid of this problem, is the easiest thing to live. The other day I met one gentleman who was transferred. He said, always whenever, he is an IAS officer, whenever I am transferred, mother, I used to be so jittery, such tension, such stress on my mind, Baba, what will happen, where will the children go, what will happen to the house, this, that, all problems would come to me. But what has happened to me and my wife, we don't feel anything now. We don't feel. We are not worried. We sleep very well. I said, that's what has to happen. All these things should not affect you. That's only possible when you can go beyond this mind, which we think mind is not such a good word, I should say, because it's not mental. It is, if it is only mind means the one which thinks. And that for them mental hospital is also mad people. I don't know how English language moves. It's difficult, you know. English language is very difficult to explain Sahaja, because in the English language, you'll be amazed that they call spirit. Spirit is the Atma, right? Spirit is the dead body moving about according to them. And thirdly, it means also alcohol. Now which one is closer to which one, I don't know. But this is why I'm saying that English language is a difficulty. Marathi is the best because lot of work has been done among Maharashtrians on Kundali. Nath Panthis were there, they have done a lot of work, but the tradition was that one person would give realization to only one person. If I have done anything you think worth mentioning, it is that I tried to find out a way of giving collective realization, collective happening. That's what was my humble contribution, and by which I find thousands of people have got their realization. Now what is the realization? It is that if you see at the base of the spinal cord is a triangular bone called as sacrum. It is called sacrum because it's a sacred bone, and the Greeks knew about it, that it's a sacred bone. And according to our Shastras and also many other prophecies, there resides a power within us, our own power, your own power, called as Kundalini. It's called Kundalini because it is in 3.5 coils. Coils are called Kundal, that's why it is the Kundalini. Now this power is your own. It's in every human being. And if it is awakened, it passes through 6 centers, piercing through the top of the head, which we call as the Brahmarandra in the Sanskrit language and the fontanelle area in the English language. It passes through that soft bone which was there in the childhood, and you just start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head and the cool breeze coming onto your fingertips. It happens. It's an experience, and for which you cannot pay. You cannot. I may go on telling you lots of stories, this, that won't work. It has to happen. The Kundalini has to rise and has to pierce through fontanelle area. Otherwise, it's no use. It's just words, some sermon or something like that. So, this happening is very easy in this Kali Yuga. It's really remarkable because maybe because of Kali Yuga, people are fed up of the things going on and all kinds of things working out. Now what does it do? It passes through 6 centers. 6 centers, these are meant for our physical, mental and emotional being, and also for our spiritual being. So when it passes through these 6 centers, it nourishes those centers. It integrates all these centers. And ultimately it passes through this and enters into the all-pervading power of divine love. It's called as Paramachaitanya. You may call it as all-pervading power of divine love or anything, but names make no difference. There is a very subtle power around us which looks after us, which guides us, which helps us, which is the torsion area. Now, by doing that, what happens? That you become knowledgeable of the absolute truth. Absolute. Whatever you know is absolute, is nothing to doubt, nothing can be challenged. For example, it starts flowing through your fingertips. Starts flowing through your fingertips, and you can feel it on your fingertips, your centers. Now these are 5, 6 and 7 centers, 5, 6 and 7 centers. I'm not going to tell you all the details now, but when you start feeling these cold sensation, Adi Shankaracharya has called it as spand, then you feel the truth, the real truth. For example, supposing in your office you get somebody who is a cheat, very well dressed, speaks English very well, very well behaved. How will you make him out? You just have to put your hands under your table and see for yourself. Immediately you will get some sort of a burning sensation, or you might feel some sort of a, they call needle and pins, like that. That kind of a feeling you might get. Then you will also know what centers he is catching on your fingertips. This is the absolute knowledge about everything. It's not a question of only knowing who is a bad or a good person, but also of diseases. Supposing you have some disease, you will feel it on your fingertips. On your fingertips you will feel it. You will know this is your disease, and if you know how to cure them, you can cure others also. Because you become one with the whole. It's a very collective personality you develop. Who is the other after all? We are all one. But only trouble is we are separated because of this ignorance. Once this works out, so many things drop out from us. This is the right side I am telling you about. But also the conditionings are very much working out in us. In our reaction, there are two things that work out. One is the right side, another the left side, and the left side is all the conditioning as you see them. These conditionings come to us through our childhood, through our family, through our country, through our reading, this, that, all kinds of things they come up. But also family upbringing is very important, because according to our Shastras, there are 6 enemies, we have got 6. Now these 6 enemies are what? So Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Moha. Kama is what you can call sexual urge. Krodha is anger. Krishna has denounced anger. But all right-sided people are hot-tempered. They don't want to be, but they are. And when they lose their temper, then they feel bad also. Not that they want to lose it, but they just lose it. Now, this one drops out. The temper goes out completely because you develop that witness state, Sakshi Swarupati. With that witness state, you just see everything. You don't lose temper. You just see it. That is one thing drops out very well. Mother is false pride. That we have. I know IAS officers and their wives. They have that false pride. Not everyone, but some of them do they have. I have very funny experiences of that. Like once we went to Delhi to Hatriji, and they had given us a house in Minabad. And I met another friend of mine from Lucknow who had married an IAS officer, a very proud girl. And she asked me, where are you living? How are you? I said, my husband is a government servant, so he's transferred here. But where are you living? I said, Minabad. Oh my God, Minabad, what is your husband doing? Is he a clerk? What is he doing? I said, he's doing something. And I was just looking at her the way she was on me. Boy, my husband might be your husband's boss, so this and that. I said, maybe I don't know anything about these things. I'm sorry, I don't know your list of people or anything, I'm not interested. And then my husband came. So she said, see that tall man? You know, he's very important. He's with the Prime Minister. You go and talk to him and get your husband promoted. I said, what is she up to? I said, darling, he is my husband. Hey? He's your husband? Huh? Yes. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I said, it's all right. Common experience. The women also become IAS, you see. Not actually, but as wives. And I've been such a lost person with them because I could never understand what is there to be IAS and to be his wife. It was beyond me. But one thing, what really helped me in all this turmoil of life, because you know, our pay is less, this, that, all problems were there, was the patriotism, Rashtra Bhakti. My father was a great patriot, my mother was. They sacrificed everything for the independence of this country. I cannot travel by any foreign airlines, whatever may be. Maybe Air India is not good, doesn't matter. It's my country's thing. So the feeling that this is my country kept me going like a, you see, you become like a Kargil soldier. You are fighting for your country. You are working for your country. My husband got into Indian Foreign Service. I told him nothing doing. We don't drink, both of us, and I can't leave my country in the lurch at the time when we have got the freedom. So if you want, you can go. I will not go. I don't want to go to Foreign Service. They cut his pay That time, 300 was a big amount. I said, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I'll stay in my country. I'll work in my country. And you work here. I'll support you every way. I don't want anything, nothing I want. And you don't take a bribe at all. Otherwise, that day I'll leave this. Otherwise, also I said that the another thing is our country has to develop. Who will develop? I always felt that you are the spinal cord of our country. You have to develop this country. What is this money comes and goes? You have seen the people who have got money, where their children have gone. What has happened to them? What have they achieved? So I told very frankly that I will not go to the foreign service of any kind, because what is in the foreign service, I want to do everything in this country of mine, for which I have also fought. I have fought a lot, and this is what now sometimes, it's disappointing to see what things are happening. But a day will come, this country will rise. How? Because when this happens, when this Kundalini rising takes place, when people become realized souls, they just transform. They become extremely patriotic, and they understand what is needed today for our country. They can sacrifice anything, they can live anywhere, and they are not bothered about some sort of a, you can call it a financial help or other material things. They are above materialism. There are thousands and thousands like that, even in our country, thousands. And also abroad. Now Sahaja Yoga is working in 86 countries. They are all full of joy. Because with this happening, you get joy of a quality which has no double thing. It's not happiness and happiness. It's just joy. And you have another thing also with it, is the peace of mind. Just you are so peaceful, absolutely peaceful. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to become jittery. Because see the diseases you develop. Apart from that, all kinds of paralysis comes from this. We had a doctor in our hospital there who was working very hard. I told him that, doctor, see, now your age has come, you should take it easy, daytime you must rest. There's no need, you are not in an office and so rest, take rest, do something else. Read, or you can go and play, do something. He wouldn't listen to me. And then he got paraplegia, means that failure of the hand and the leg. Completely. He couldn't even walk. He couldn't lift his leg. Now he's all right, cured. But then I told him that you take treatment for your right side. That's very important. It's very simple treatment, and which can be done very easily. For example, you can have an ice bag on the liver. You can have ice bag here. Because this is the portion. This moves like this. So the portion, this one gets heated up. So you put ice here, you put ice. This icing business will really help you a lot. But also there are some other very simple, homely treatments which you can take. But I would request all of you to come to our center somewhere in Bharatiya, वहाँ है ना भारतीय उसमें है कि नहीं वेरी चिको हाँ when do you have so you all can come there. It's if you live in this area, in every area we have got centers, so you all can come into that center humbly. There is, you see, in Sahaja Yoga there's nothing like any position or anything. We have to humble down. This false pride is of no use. We humble down. When we humble down, it's very easy to achieve it and to get this into yourself. After all, otherwise what is it? What is life for? There's no enjoyment. There's no experiencing of what you are doing. So much work you put in, I know that. I know how you people have to work hard. But to get over all the strain and stress, You must do meditation for 5 minutes, which they will tell you how to do. 5 minutes in the evening will help. So, just like as you take bath in the morning, you bathe yourself with the showers of this Kundalini. She's your mother. She has been your mother from ages, and she has recorded everything about you within itself. This is the subtle side of you. And when you want to have your realization, she is very anxious to be awakened. She is extremely anxious, and it works wonders. I'm surprised that how people get realization in no time. But only trouble with them is it's like a premium, or you can call it the ankura, which grows, but it doesn't become a tree. So little bit you have to meditate, you have to be collective and work out. In collective you forget everything, your position, everything. I have known IAS officers who have been dancing with the villagers, singing with the villagers. So much they enjoy. They said, we knew this, but we never wanted to express it, you see. So all this drops out. All these outward bondages drop out, and you become one with the collective. You know their problems, you know how to solve them, and it's very good. I think this is what is only one has to achieve, nothing else. If you achieve this, you have achieved the last and the best. With this, then you can help others. You can give realizations to others. You can save their lives. I mean, it's all your power that is going to work. In these days of horrible struggle and all kinds of things happening, violence, very much needed is this Sajo. And you will be amazed. It is something, a grace that people get it. In Turkey, we have about 2,000 people who are realized souls. Nobody lost their life, not a single thing, not their houses were even, they just little bit, I would say, shook, but never fell down. Orissa, it happens the same. It has happened in several places that people have been just saved with those who have been in the grace of the divine. We have to become that. We can't live without it. It's rather subtle. It is subtle, I know, but sometimes must understand we have to be subtle. Now, as it is so much of illness, sickness, I find, mostly I find with all the people who are working very hard is the right-sided problem, some sort of a right side. And it can be absolutely cured, absolutely be under your control, and you can cure others also. This is such a blessing we have in this horrible Kali Yuga. The worst times, they say, the worst and worst, that is the time, is now. And you see the effects of that. But in that only, the lotus of Sajoga has come up. You don't have to pay for it. That's one thing you should know. Anybody asks money from you, he is not divine. Don't have to pay for it at all. When you grow and when you achieve, when you give realizations to others, then you will be surprised. You rise into a new realm of understanding, which is a doubtless awareness, which is called as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, according to Patanjali. Now, as we have learnt English, I don't think we read much of our Indian scriptures and things. But that also those who read will go on praying to one mound of statues, this, that. I mean, just they are fanatically religious people, wasting their life like that. The another side are the Buddhivadis, what you call, are the intellectuals, you see. They are the much worse one, because they think they have read everything, they know everything. Now what to tell them? It's a very simple thing they don't want to accept. You can't tell them, take it straight. You have to have it in the other way. So also, to understand it, we should know we have not known ourselves. We have to know ourselves. And for knowing ourselves, Kundalini awakening is the only way as far as I know. And I hope you all will think about it. and come to our centers where realization can be given. There are many centers we have got. You don't have to pay any money, nothing, but you come and relax. Relaxation is only possible after self-realization, not before. You'll be surprised your aging will stop. I have no aging problem. My husband also has no aging problem. We don't think of it. It's over. Now, whenever one has to die, one will die. But till then, we are not bothered. Anything that you do will have a special light of the divine. I bless you from my heart that you develop these subtleties within yourself and you try to understand that so far you have not known yourself. You have to know yourself. You don't have to introspect and sit down criticizing yourself, feeling guilty. No, not at all. Whatever has happened has happened. Because you'll be amazed at yourself that all your destructive habits also will drop out by themselves. Overnight in London, there were 12 boys with the addiction of drugs. They stopped overnight. Overnight. I never told them. I never tell people, don't. I never say that. But that Kundalini rises and the light of your heart, light of the spirit, that guides you. That tells you what is destructive for you. And you have power not to accept anything that is destructive. I know there are difficulties. I know there are problems. But you will never see them. If you are sitting in a boat, you are not bothered as to how deep the sea is. It's like that. You rise above all these things and you watch and you help others. Apart from that, it helps you in your work, very much in your work. You understand your work very well because of torsion area again. My husband says, how do you get this idea? I said, got it. All right, this is the idea I've got. Now, he's amazed sometimes how I manage things, how I'm doing. I have no secretariat, I have no secretary, I have not PA, nothing. And we are working in 86 countries. So it is just works out because it is this divine power which is so helpful, which is so kind. So again and again, I wish you best of luck. Please come to our centers. I hope they'll give you the addresses and all that. And you can come on Saturdays or Sundays, whenever you want to, and get your realization. May God bless you.
Srimati, they're requesting if you can give them self-realization. Yeah.
I'm not going to give delegate all right? Fine. Oh, that's much better. You see, there is one thing that one feels very guilty for, I don't know, that's our temperament, I think. We feel guilty. Oh, I've done this, I've been doing this, how will I get realization? So, first of all, you don't have to feel guilty at all. Forgive yourself and then forgive others. Just these two things can you manage? Just to say, I forgive everyone. Now they say that very difficult, mother, to forgive. So the argument is like this, whether you forgive or don't forgive, what do you do? Nothing. But when you don't forgive, then you torture yourself for the person who has harmed you. So I request you just to say, I forgive everything, mother, I forgive everyone. And forgive yourself. Not to feel guilty. Whatever has happened is finished, that's past. We are not talking of past, we are talking of present. You have to be in the present, not in the past, of course not in the future, as most of us are there. That's the thing gives you right sense. So we have to be in the center, we have to be in the balance, and we have to be in the present. I cannot go on giving lecture. You see, I've given so many lectures after lectures after lectures. But you can also get my tapes. But first, get yourself completely blossoming with your own vibrations, with your own spun. So for doing this, as simple as I have to request you to take out your shoes if you don't mind. In England I said take out your shoes, so half of them walked out. Very difficult people. Also tomorrow we are having a very big program on Shivaji Park. So I would request you all to come there, and I hope they'll make proper arrangements for your seat. It will be nice. With all of them you will feel even better. So just think what you have to do is to put hands like this. Muhammad Sahib has said that when the Qiyamah will come, your hands will speak. What does that mean? Just like this, little higher. Wow, right side is too much. I think you put your left hand on your livers because it's very much right side. Right hand towards me and left hand towards the liver. Now, put both the hands towards me, right hand towards me, and just put the left hand on top of your fontanelle bone area. Here, higher, little higher. टोपी काढून घ्या. Right hand towards me. Now the left hand towards me and the right hand on top of the head. Again, right hand towards me. And with the left hand. There's air conditioning, but don't doubt. If there is hot or cool breeze coming out of your head, here, from the talu, from the fontanelle bone area, please move your hand, raise it and see if there's a cool or a hot. Hot will be there because of the liver, but doesn't matter, it will subside. So see for yourself, it is a cold or a hot air coming out of your head. Now, please put both the hands towards me. Now see for yourself if you have cool or hot breeze on your fingertips. Don't doubt, please don't doubt. If it is there, it is a little bit. You get realization very fast in India because my country is a yoga boom. It's a very great country. Don't misunderstand it by its superficial expressions. It's a very great country. Now, all those who have felt cool or hot breeze on their fingertips or on their palms or on their fontanelle bone area, through that, raise both your hands. Wow. Most of you have got. May God bless you. So very happy. Some didn't get, doesn't matter. So you should go, all of you should please, I request you again and again, attend our centers, for which you are not committed. Anybody tries to come to you saying, I'm Sri Mataji's disciple, do this for me. Please don't do it. I never do that. That's not my style. So please don't listen to anyone. Never. Anybody who comes like that, send me their name. Never, never, never. Because in Sahaja Yoga, we have all kinds of people. We have some very highly developed, we have mediocres also, and we have some very low, very, very few. But they are there. And they might try to take your advantage of your position. So anybody who tries to contact you, please tell them, I have nothing to do with them. All right? Thank you very much. Speak on. Thank you. Questions पूछें क्या? Govind Swarup, want to ask me questions? Huh? कह दो.
If there are any questions you like to ask,
पूछा कोई?
I think Shrimaji, they've all got their realizations, so they're thoughtless. Don't have any questions.
It is experience, anubhuti. Anubhuti is the way you should know. No question?
No.
Yes, please. Most. That's what I said. Please be seated. When this Kundalini rises, she gets rid of all these things, Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Moha. 6 things. She just gets rid of it. And you go into balance. You go into balance. All perversities go away. Just disappear. You can't get angry. When do you become? This is what I am saying. Right-sided become the central part. This is the Jnana Marga. See? Knowledge Marga. And you just get the knowledge and you get into the center. You are no more right-sided. You become so peaceful, you don't know. Because you also become Sakshi. You become a witness. You see, only if somebody is getting angry, you just start watching. Like once I was giving a lecture in Switzerland, and one lady came to hit me with the Bible. The scene was very ridiculous, you see. And I started laughing, and she couldn't understand why I was laughing. She went back.
You can come up. Once the Kundalini rises and it's awakened, you have to keep practicing it, or it stays awake?
It stays mostly, but can also come down. Supposing you have some disease, then it comes back to look after that organ. It does that. But you know how to raise it again and again. You know how to fix it. In the beginning, I should say mostly it stays with people, but depends on. Can't say I've seen it drops it out also, but you must give it the nourishment of love. See, if you love people, you start loving them, caring for them, then she rises even faster. And if she's falling, also you will know how to raise. There's no problem on that. It doesn't take too much time. Within 1 month you can be a master. क्या कह रहे हैं?
Say because air conditioning,
All right. Now, you go home and close your doors, all the doors, and see for yourself if you get the cool breeze or not. If you get it, you have got it. If you don't get it, then you come again and see for yourself, I would say. But actually it is always, with the thing, is a different kind of a feeling you get. It's not what you get from the air conditioning on the fingertips. I mean, see for yourself. But go home and see for yourself. It is there. Your eyes will be shining also.
When you open your hands, what are you supposed to say in your mind?
Nothing. You don't tell your mind anything, don't fight with anything. Just she works and shoots you off, all right? You don't have to say anything better. Nothing. These are words. And words don't help. Adi Shankaracharya has said, "Oh mother, take me out of the Shabda Jalam, the web of words." We read so much sometimes that Kabira has written, "Padi padi pandita murakha bhaye," and I have met many of them. You read now people who are Sufis, like Kabir, all right, everybody, Tukaram, Jnaneshwara, all of them. Jnaneshwara was very great. But nobody understands him, that's the trouble. He wrote it for Buddhivadis also, this Amrutanubhava book. But it doesn't go into their heads. After realization, you will enjoy him very much. You will enjoy all of them. Eknath, everyone. This country is full of them. For example, Namadeva, who was just a tailor, and he was such a great poet, and he went to meet another one, Gora Kumbhar. And the Gora Kumbhar was a potter. So he was kneading the mud for the pots that he wanted to make. So when Namadeva went and stood before him, what's he say? Sagunacha bheti alo, nirgunacha bhetui alo sagunashi. I came to see your vibrations, nirguna, but you are completely that. Such words only a realized soul can say for another, such words. Because otherwise we are jealous, we are this. Not the Sajam is not. They are so much together. You have now given such a big society of friends. You go to any country, they all run for you, jump for you, do what you like. It's such oneness, such friendship, such one family. UP we have lots of IAS officers, IPS officers, even the chief secretary is very good. So, I mean, it's nothing to do with IAS or IPS, I think, but it has something to do because I'm worried about UP. That's all. Very much worried. Yeah, correct.
Somebody who has always been loving and forgiving, do you mean to say his Kundalini has already awakened?
Could be. But the main thing, he should get the cool breeze in the hand, the spanda. Otherwise, though he is nice, kind, helpful, is a good man, he'll get it very fast, and I can do it much better. Ups and downs?
Ups and downs of life.
You just watch it. I tell you what, now if you are living by the road and you find accidents, this, that, you get worried, isn't it? But supposing you are standing on a hilltop, then you are seeing, but you are not bothered. At least in the beginning you do get jittery, but later on you get used to it. Or else you are on a boat. Supposing you are in the water, you are always worried. But you are on a boat, you can see those people who are getting drowned, but you are not worried. But supposing you know swimming, you can jump back and bring them back. This is what Sahaja Yoga is.
What he's saying that Nam Smaran, will it not help the rising of the Kundalini?
No. अजून संबंध झालेला नाही. संबंधच झाला नाही तर बोलता कोणाशी तुम्ही, कोणाचं नाव घेता, ते माहीत असायला पाहिजे. इतकंच नव्हे पण प्रत्येक चक्रावर वेगळी देवता आहे. तेव्हा नामस्मरण कुणाचं करायचं, जिथे तुमची कुंडलिनी अडकली असेल तिथेच, ते नाही. काहीतरी आता समजा जर आम्ही इथे आलोच नाही तर तुम्ही कोणाशी बोलणार.
He's saying की गुरु मंत्र
काही द्यायचं नाही, मी तरी ठरवलं. गुरुमंत्र वगैरे काही देत नाही. कारण काय आहे, त्याच्यातच मन अडकतं. जर तुमची प्रगती प्रत्येक क्षणी होईल तर तुम्ही कोणता मंत्र देऊ तुम्हाला. काही गुरुमंत्र नाही. मला फक्त आई माना म्हणजे झालं. दुसरं काय, आई स्वरूपात पाहिलं म्हणजे पुष्कळ लवकर सगळं समजतं. कारण आई एक अशी देवाने दिलेली आपल्याला देणगी आहे की ज्यामुळे आपल्याला जगातलं सगळं मिळतं. म्हणून मला फक्त आई स्वरूप आणलं की झालं, त्याच्या पलीकडे काही. हे का नामस्मरण वगैरे सांगितलं होतं त्याला कारण असं की लोकांचं लक्ष इकडे तिकडे जाऊ नये, त्या गोष्टीकडे वेधू नये, म्हणून त्यांचं तुम्ही नामस्मरण घेत असाल. तर त्याचं इतकं प्रस्त झालं आहे, इतकं झालंय प्रस्त की खंडीवर देव ठेवले, त्याच्यातच गुंते सकाळपासून. ते नाही झालं तर त्याच्या पुढे आता आपल्याकडे त्या पालख्या करतात. बघा, ज्ञानेश्वरांना पायात वाहना नव्हतं आणि तुम्ही पालख्या काढून गावगाव पीक मागत चालले, त्याला काय अर्थ. अशाने काय होतं की सर्व काही अध्यात्माचे खेळ होऊन काहीतरी त्याचं विभत्स रूप आलं. तसं काही नाही, अगदी स्वच्छ आहे ते.
He's saying Ashtanga Yoga, does it help in the rising of the Kundalini?
अष्टांग योगामध्ये अष्टांगातलं म्हणजे एकच अंग आहे ज्याच्यात तुम्हाला शरीराची तुम्ही निगा राखू शकता. त्यातलाही एवढासाच भाग आहे. पण त्याच्या पुढच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी सांगितलं आहे की ह्याने म्हणजे माहिती आहे की तुम्हाला ह्याने निर्विचार समाधी लागली पाहिजे आणि निर्विकार समाधी लागली पाहिजे. हे आहे, पण ते कसं काय ते काही दिलेलं नाही. कुंडलिनीचं सुद्धा नाव दिलेलं नाही. फक्त आपल्या नाथपंथांमध्ये असं होतं की एका माणसाला द्यायची, लाखात एकाला पार करायची, अशी परंपरा. तेव्हा ज्ञानेशाने आपल्या भावाला विचारलं, ते त्यांचे गुरु होते, की मला तुम्ही परवानगी द्या की मी कुंडलिनीबद्दल निदान माझ्या पुस्तकात लिहिलं. तर त्यांनी जी ज्ञानेश्वरी लिहिली त्याच्या 6व्या अध्यायात त्यांनी स्पष्ट लिहिलेलं आहे की कुंडलिनी नावाची शक्ती आहे ती अशी आहे. ते म्हणा त्याच्यात थोडा विपर्यास लोकांनी केला असेल, पण लिहिलं तर खरी. हे 12व्या शतकातली गोष्ट आहे. मग 16व्या शतकात सगळ्यांनी याच्यावर रामदास स्वामी त्यांना विचारलं की कुंडलिनी जागृत किती वेळात होते. त्यांनी उत्तर असं दिलं, तत्क्षण जर देणारा असला आणि घेणारा असला. हा फार मोठी वट आहे. आणि त्याच्यामुळे आतापर्यंत फक्त परंपरागत 1-2 दिवस पार होते. आणि अजूनही मी पाहिलं जे पोचलेले काही गुरु आहे ते मला म्हणतात, मात्र तुम्हाला काय झालंय, सत्तात्री द्या. म्हटलं जाऊ दे, नसलं तरी मला काय हरकत, कळलं का. अशा रीतीने ह्या कुंडलिनीबद्दल जो गैरसमज झाला तो असा की काही काही लोकांनी उपटशिंबपणा केला आणि कुंडलिनी फार वाईट, त्यांनी असे तुम्हाला दोष येतात, अमुक समूह हो, तर नाटक पुस्तक लिहिलेलं, त्याच्यामुळे लोक घाबरतात. पण तसं काहीही होत नाही. आज मी 30 वर्षापासून हे कार्य करते आहे, मी तसं काहीही पाहिलं कधीही होते, उलट फायदाच होतो. अनेक रोग ठीक होतात, मानसिक रोग ठीक होतात. आणखी इतकंच नव्हे पण धन संपत्ती पण तुम्हाला आश्चर्य वाटेल, लक्ष्मीची कृपा, लक्ष्मी जाते, हे सगळं होतं. हे आपल्याला करायचं आहे या देशात, विशेषतः महाराष्ट्रात. जरा महाराष्ट्रात काम कमी आहे काम आहे.
Ask why we are not doing this work in the villages.
Huh?
Why we are not doing this work in the villages.
I have done in the villages for years together. अहो त्या खेड्यापाड्यामध्ये इतकं अज्ञान आहे. मी तुम्हाला आश्चर्य वाटेल, लहान लहान महाराष्ट्राच्या खेड्यात गेले, तिथे राहिले, तिथे झोपायचे, इतकी मी मेहनत केलेली आहे. पण त्या खेड्यामधल्या लोकांचं मला समजत नाही. ते 1 रुपया घेऊन येते. अरे माताजी पैसे नाही घेत, बरं 10 रुपये घेतील का. म्हटलं त्यांचं डोकं कुठे गेलं तर काय करायचं. खूप काम केलेलं आणि अजूनही करायचं. पण बघा, तुम्हाला आश्चर्य वाटेल की उत्तर हिंदुस्थानात मी इतकं काम केलेलं नाही, पण खेड्या पाड्या सहज तसाच संसार. महाराष्ट्रात 1-2 दोष आहेत आपल्या. एक तर आपल्याला वाटतं की धर्माच्या बाबतीत आपल्या काही काही अटी असतात, पैसे दिले पाहिजे, तमुक ती सवय झाली. आणखी दुसरी एक मला वाटतं थोडी मोठ्या लोकांमध्ये जरा घमेंड आहे. आम्ही काहीतरी विशेष घमेंड, त्या घमेंडीने पण कमी असं मला तरी वाटतं. कारण तसं मी पाहिलं दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी इतका सहज उपकार असतो आणि इथे का नाही असतो. ही घमेंड झाला पाहिजे. कारण घमेंडीचा फायदा काय आपल्याला, काहीच नाही. सरकारी नोकराने ते मुळीच घमेंड केली नाही पाहिजे. कशाची घमेंड हो मला समजत नाही. आणि मला इतकं लक्षात आलं नव्हतं, पण मला भेटायला एक गृहस्थ आले होते, मेजर जनरल आहे. तर ते फार नम्रपणाने माझ्याशी बोलत, आणि मी मराठीत बोलते म्हणजे बरं, म्हणजे इतरांना काही कळणार नाही. तर ते मला म्हणाले की फार नम्रपणे माझ्याशी बोलत होते. तर आमचा एक शिष्य आहे, तो डॉक्टर आता ह्याला असतो, कॅनडाला असतो, आशिष म्हणून. तो म्हणतो, माताजी हे काय मेजर जनरल आहेत का. हो आहेत ना, मग काय, मग एवढे नम्र आहेत. म्हटलं पण माझ्या समोर आला तर नम्र होणारच नाही हो. आपला हिंदू महाराष्ट्रात तर कोणी जरी कॅप्टन असला ना, तो आडवी छाती काढून चालतो. हे लक्षात घेतो. घमेंड करून काय फायदा.
There's a question from Doordarshan. They want to ask a question. It's about
तुमचं थोडं याच्यावरती स्टेटमेंट हवं आहे आम्हाला. ह्या स्टेटमेंट आम्हाला हवं आहे दूरदर्शन शॉर्टमध्ये आम्ही रेकॉर्ड करतोय की ह्या IAS ऑफिसर्सना आज या सहयोगाची आवश्यकता का आहे.
सांगितलं ना परत सांगा. पाणी दो बाई, परत सांगायचं. आता प्रश्न हाच आहे ना.
हा प्रश्न हाच आहे की IAS ऑफिसर्सना आज IAS या सहयोगाची आवश्यकता का आहे. पहिल्यांदा मराठीत सांगा. हे थोडक्यात दूरदर्शन करतात मराठी. हां, दूरदर्शन करतात.
त्यांचा प्रश्न असा आहे की IAS ऑफिसर्सना, IAS ऑफिसर्सना सहयोगाची काय गरज आहे. आता मी आधीच सांगितलं होतं की काय असतं, हे IAS मध्ये गेले म्हणजे इतर लोकांच्या पेक्षा उच्च स्थितीला जातात. कारण अर्थात ते विद्वान आहेत, फार कार्यप्रवण आहेत, म्हणून त्यांना ही स्थिती मिळते, हे कबूल. पण होतं काय की एकांगी जीवन होणार, सकाळपासून संध्याकाळपर्यंत धावपळ धावपळ धावपळ, शनिवार रविवार सुद्धा धावपळ करत. तुम्हाला आश्चर्य वाटेल, 40 वर्ष आम्ही इथे राहिलो साहेबांच्या बरोबर. एक दिवस ह्या गृहस्थांनी सुट्टी नाही, शनिवार रविवार कोणत्या दिवशी नाही, रोज रात्री ते कामं करायचे. पण मला त्याच्यात हरकत नव्हती, कारण आपल्या राष्ट्रासाठी कार्य ह्या माझ्या राष्ट्रीय प्रेमाची ही काय होती, मला पूर्णपणे मदत होती. पण तसं काहीच नसतं, तेव्हा थोडंसं बॅलन्समध्ये राहायला. पण ते बॅलन्समध्ये आले तरीसुद्धा त्यांचं आहेच तसं, आयुष्यच तसं, त्याच्यात सारखं फार काम करावं लागतं आणि त्यांनी राईट साईड येत जातं. पण त्याला इलाज सहयोगात आहे आणि कुंडलिनीच्या जागरणाने त्यांचं जे काही संतुलन आलेलं आहे ते नष्ट होतं. ते पूर्ण नष्ट झाल्याबरोबर मजेत येतील, काही त्यांना वाटणार नाही, बेफिक्र. म्हणून IAS ऑफिसर्सना फार कारण आपल्या देशाच्या पाठीचा कणा आहे, त्यांच्या दमावरती सगळं काही चालतं. आपल्याला माहीत असेल, फ्रान्समध्ये इतका हा असतो बदल होत असतो तिथल्या म्हणायचं काय राजकारणी लोकांचा होत असतो. पण तिथले जे ब्युरोक्रॅट्स आहेत ते अगदी पक्के आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे तो देश चाललेला आहे. तसंच जर आपल्या इथले जर IAS ऑफिसर्स ठीक झाले, अगदी उत्तम झाले, स्वस्थ झाले, तर हा देश कुणीच वाकू शकणार.
सहजयोगामुळे स्ट्रेस कमी होऊ शकेल काय?
काय
सहजयोगामुळे त्यांचा स्ट्रेस कमी होऊ शकेल काय?
स्ट्रेस
मनावरचा ताण
अगदी 100 नंबरी सांगते तुम्हाला. पूर्णपणे स्ट्रेस कमी होईल. त्यांनी जे ॲक्सिडेंट्स होतात ते होणार नाहीत आणि ते मनमोकळेपणाने सगळ्यांशी बोलतील आणि फारच स्वभाव स्वच्छंद होईल. आणि जे शिवाजी महाराजांनी सांगितलं होतं ना, स्वधर्म ओळखावा, ते ओळखतील.
दिन पे दिन भारतीय संस्कृति या योगा जैसे मुद्दों के ऊपर दुनिया बहुत आकर्षित हो रही है.
ये तो बात सही.
कारण हो सकता है?
उसका कारण ये ठोस चीज है, असलियत पे खड़ी है, वास्तविकता पे है. पर हम लोग तो छोड़ के उनके तरफ दौड़ रहे हैं. बिल्कुल भारतीय संस्कृति जैसे संस्कृति नहीं, उसका कारण हजारों वर्षों से संस्कृतियाँ चली आ रही. और ये कोई एक किताब पर निर्भर नहीं है, एक धर्म पे निर्भर नहीं है. सब धर्मों को एक करने वाली यही एक संस्कृति है. इसको समझना चाहिए. और हम तो समझा रहे हैं, हमारे साथ हजारों लोग आ रहे हैं. अब हिंदुस्तान के लोग भी इसमें आ जाएं पूरी तरह से तो बड़ा अच्छा. अरे बाप रे, एवढे अहो तुमचं ते अवस्थी आहेत ना, त्यांनाही पाठवलं पाहिजे. मराठीतलं पाठवू शकतात.
मराठीतनंच बातम्यांमध्ये
हो नाही, पण अवस्थी ना, पण हिंदीत विचारायला पाहिजे. अवस्थेसाठी
आम्हाला तेच तुम्ही जे बोललात असता इंग्लिशमध्ये जर दिलं तर आम्ही ते दिल्लीला
इंग्लिश बरं काय तोच प्रश्न.
Why IAS officers need much this yoga? How it helps? How it could help?
How it will help the IAS officers of our country? It's a very interesting question because I've been always concerned about. I think the IAS, IPS and all such government agencies, all of them, and also the government servants in every field are the backbone, and they must be substantiated by the knowledge of this country. That is, they work very hard. They are very futuristic. They always plan for the future. And then what happens to them? They develop a symptom of the right-sided man. Means what you call in the autonomic nervous system, we have sympathetic nervous systems and right side sympathetic rectus. With this development, what happens that they suffer from many diseases, heart attacks, paralysis, all kinds of things. So they are to be saved. At a very young age it happens. It's possible only if their Kundalini is risen and they go beyond their mind, by which they develop that thoughtless awareness. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think people are very anxious to meet Mataji also. But before that, I would like to perform my duty, because I would not dare thank Shri Mataji for what she has done today by coming here and blessing all of us. I would only like to express my deepest gratitude, because it's a fact that not only one service but all those who are involved in these activities develop a lot of such situations where tensions and stress is unavoidable. And one path has been shown, it is now up to us. I would also like to thank Sir C.P. Srivastava, who agreed to our request and gave his experience. And I'm also thankful to all my other friends who came and joined us for this spiritual experience. It would be unfair on my part if I do not thank Dr. Anand Bhule and Mr. Singh. In fact, I wanted to present them bouquet, but it seems that the stage is so much crowded now that I'll have to do only by mentioning their names, because and all other the devotees of Mataji, Palwasa Mataji, because they have been working for day and night, and they have helped us in organizing this today's small function. So I would express my thanks to all of you who are here and all those who have been helpful in organizing this function. Thank you very much. Kindly have tea, which is our